Okay, week 65. Made some more progress, but not much. Been a slow week. Kind of hurt my arm at the beginning of, actually last Saturday, and I've been moving slow, not at full speed at all. Took it easy all week, didn't really get much of anything done. And didn't work yesterday, and tried to get out here today and do something so that we could make some progress. I did visit Brian, a friend of mine. Some of you guys know him, and pick up this hood. I got this fiberglass hood that he'd been storing because I just was not happy with this. Just could not get happy about that. And was going to have to do something about headlight doors anyway. He had this laying there, thought we'd try it. This is going to be a real basket of snakes. This is I don't even know where this thing came from. I did some research on Miata Turbo, and I think I've found the origin thread for this and the guy who's made it. But there's no pictures at all. I couldn't find any pictures of anybody with one on an actual car. So I'm going to have to go on hope that this thing, what's that doing? Okay. That it fits the outside dims are the same as the OEM hood. Now, none of these parts on the car are installed. They're just hung up here so they're not laying on a table or get knocked off or they fall like the trunk did a few days ago. So I've just got all this stuff loosely assembled. The hood is not indicative of its final resting place, but we don't know if it actually fits or not. So it's kind of a crapshoot. As you can see, it's kind of strange looking. I took a flat block and just ran it over it lightly, and that's what I got. So the texture of the hood is actually like the surface of the ocean, which is less than ideal. So as soon as I can get the hardtop out of the fab bay, I'll move this in there and get serious and see if I can flatten some of these, flatten some of the high spots and see if we can get the low spots up. But anyway, I'm going to try to make it go because, man, that cleans up that car a whole bunch. I'm a big fan of one vent and no holes for the pop-ups because they're not coming back. So currently, still trying to get this done. This is where I left this thing last weekend, and I was unable to get sealer on here that was effective because I had forgotten. This thing had been painted 3 times. So it was actually Robin's Egg Blue as a test. Prior to that, it was Avalanche Gray, the Ford color, and then I had painted it Diamond Blue. So it had 3 coats of paint on it, so it was entitled to the wrinkling that it did, and I stripped it chemically. I started sanding it, and I was getting nowhere. So I pulled off a good-sized Amazon box full of paint that I just cooked off of here with the stripper and then scraped off with a scraper, and then went about cleaning this up. Currently, I've got the tracer coat on it and the 320. I'm not using that. I'm actually using a block. This guy. A rigid block. And going over this thing to finish it up. I hope to put a coat of sealer on it tomorrow night. And I don't know. I'm not going to get greedy, but it might get painted. And then I think the only other thing going on are the seats. I've ordered the rest of the material for that. We're going to put some of that on the dash bar, the one that runs across in front of the HVAC controls, across the middle of the early dash, and then the door caps. I want to do some kind of color on those door caps, and I might work it in. I think I'm going to have Robert make a gasoline trim works. That's it. Have him make a shift boot to put in there. We may add some somewhere else. And interestingly enough, we could not figure out what color that was because these seats were made several years ago. And during the early days of the pandemic, I knew we'd be faced with this moment, and I ordered samples to try to reverse engineer what exactly color this is. And I just thought this was interesting. I'll put this on here for the moment. We use this stuff, of course, in all the eliminators. Big fan of this material. And I ordered these swatches to be able to learn, and they've added a few new colors. Big fan of this stuff. If we're going to be doing anything else with upholstery work in a car, this is what we need to be using. It's reasonably priced, and it just looks great. Anyway, huge fan of that stuff. I think that's it. Yeah, didn't get anything else done. still buried in garbage in here, but the car's looking better. Okay, talk to you later.